welcome to this episode of the Station Break podcast. I'm your host, Cassidy Quinn, and we are coming to you from KGW News in Portland, Oregon. Every Friday, we give you a behind-the-scenes look with somebody in our crazy little TV world. So today, we have the beautiful reporter, Miss Rachael Rafanelli, I should say. I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you for having me.
We have to get to, your whole marriage and proposal in a little bit because apparently that is just a huge internet sensation.
What can I say?
Crazy. My mind was blown when I saw someone ask that question. But before we get to that, so you're a reporter in the mornings and early afternoons usually, right?
Yep, so you'll see me on our sunrise show. It starts at 4:30, goes until 7 in the morning. And then you'll also see me on our noon show as well.
And today, we do not have a noon show because of the Olympics. And so does that make your job easier or harder? Do you end up usually getting sent out to do other things because you don't have to be live, or?
It just depends on what's going on that day as far as what we can do. Like sometimes if we don't have a noon, we'll go out and get interviews during the day that the dayside crews can use later, or sometimes I'll put something together. Like the other day I put something together and it was a story that ran in our 6 o'clock newscast. So it just kind of depends. Every day is a little bit different.
What time do you have to get here when you are on TV at 4:30?
So I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning when a lot of you are going to bed after having fun all night. So I get up at 2, and then I can't just come into work. I have to take a shower, do my hair, my makeup, so I gotta look good. So I'm like half asleep, like blow drying my hair. And then I get to work and usually get here about 3:30. And that is when our producers say, hey, there's a fire, something's happening, you gotta get out the door now. So we get out the door, we rush to wherever we need to go. Like in Vancouver, there was a fire, so we had to hurry up and get there. And then we're on the air literally half an hour after we arrive on the scene.
Wow.
Ooh. So you don't really, they say, oh gosh, it must be so hard to stay awake. You get up so early, you're late at night. Well, that adrenaline, man, that helps.
Yeah, just right at the beginning of your day. And so in that half hour that you're on the scene before you're live, when you're live, do you usually already have video shot and sound bites recorded with people?
So it depends. Like in a fire situation, usually we don't have any video. We just roll up to the scene. So if you live near a house that's on fire, you're going to see me rolling up in the live truck. I'm running around talking to people. Okay, what's going on? Talking to firefighters. And then usually we'll see a lot of you standing on the street going, what's going on? So we'll talk to you. What did you see? Do you have any video of the fire? I'll take your video. I'll get an interview with you. And then we hurry up and turn that around, and you'll see yourself on TV in half an hour after that. So wow. It's pretty intense.
That does make sense what you say. Like you're not falling asleep because you're just running around and you have so many things to do.
So it's a lot of adrenaline a lot of times in the morning. There's a lot of, I guess I should say, interesting people out at 3 in the morning, and they do sometimes not very good things. And so that's where we are.
Gotta get around those interesting people in early hours of the morning. How long have you been at KGW?
I have been here for a year and 8 months now. Oh my gosh, It's been that long. So I'm coming up on my 2-year anniversary.
Exciting.
And very special for me. I grew up watching the station, so it's amazing. Even every day I'm here, I'm like, I can't believe that I get to work with such amazing people. It's so inspirational. And
some of the people that you grew up watching, are they still on the station?
They are. So I grew up watching, it was Joe, Tracy, and Matt every day in the evening. My mom would be making dinner and Matt would be on TV talking about the weather, and it was just something I grew up with. And so now it's kind of, it's so inspirational, as I said, to walk and, you're like, wow, you were my icon growing up, and now I'm working with you, and I job shadowed here a while back, and just to meet everybody, and then now to be here, it's been a dream come true.
Yeah, that's so interesting and weird to think about, like when you're watching people when you're a kid, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, back to you guys, and those were the same people.
I watched you, so yeah, it's very inspirational, and just the knowledge that people have and the insight that they can pass on. And then growing up here, it's fun to be reporting where I grew up. I grew up in the Ridgefield in Clark County and live in the Vancouver area now, so it's great to, it's crazy to be like, oh yeah, there's my high school, we're driving by my high school, it's fun. So.
Yeah, did you always know you wanted to come back to this area?
I did, yeah. That was my goal when I graduated. I'm a Coug. Go Cougs.
Oh
so
gosh, there's so many here.
I know. We multiply here. Mm-hmm. So that was my dream, was to always one day work where I grew up and work specifically at KGW. And I badgered them enough to where they finally let me work here. So thank you.
What other markets did you move around to before coming back here?
So before this, or let's start when I graduated, I got a job in Twin Falls, Idaho, which is a little tiny town, southern Idaho, but it was amazing. I was an anchor and reporter there. So then you kind of get your feet, get running, you kind of figure out the lay of the land, and I was there for 2 years. And then I said, you know what? I'm ready for a bigger move, so let's see what's out there. I sent my resume all over the country, and I landed in Fort Myers, Florida, of all places. Never been to Florida, being from the Pacific Northwest. Never even heard of Fort Myers before I ended up there. It's on the Gulf side, about 2 hours south of Tampa, and it's beautiful. And I was there for almost 4 years, and then now I'm here. So it's been great.
Did you like Florida?
I did. It was crazy. There, you look outside and there's an alligator sitting down the street, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go around you. So just like the wildlife, and then the crazy weather with hurricanes. Luckily, I never lived through a hurricane when I was there, but a lot of storms.
Were those a lot of your reports that you had to do, either like crazy weather or alligators?
You're out in the weather, and there's a storm, and you're just getting blown all over, and it's super fun. I loved it. So, and just like the wildlife too, the dolphins. I mean, it's like, what do I do? What do I do for the weekend? Oh, I guess I'll go to the beach, and where people travel thousands of miles to come, and you just sit there, and there's the dolphins, and it's amazing.
That sounds so
wonderful.
I love
animals, so.
I want to see some dolphins. I know, you have lots of animals in your life. We will get to, of course. What kinds of random non-news related jobs did you have when you were growing up?
So when I was in high school or like beginning of college, I worked at Albertsons in the deli. So show those people some respect. It's a tough job.
Yeah.
So making sandwiches, making fried chicken. That was what I did
making
before
fried
this.
chicken?
Mm-hmm. Yep, and it was good too.
I always wondered, like, if they're making the fried chicken, or where this fried chicken comes from.
It's delicious.
My dad eats a lot of deli fried chicken. So
there you go.
I was wondering,
fresh.
Where does that come
fresh.
From? Do you go to Albertsons all the time now? Is there
now
even Albertsons around here?
I don't know if there is one around here anymore. I don't know. There's Safeways now.
Yeah. Any other odd jobs?
My dad is a veterinarian in Vancouver. He has a companion pet clinic off Mill Plain, and so I grew up in the vet clinic, and so got to work with a lot of the animals. Growing up and just, helping my dad, cleaning the cages and stuff, because they wouldn't let me do all the fun stuff.
Yeah. Aw.
Which is good.
There's where your love of animals comes in.
Yeah, another love of animals, so.
Have you ever been fired from a job?
Fired? What kind of question is this?
I ask everybody.
Wow. No, I never have.
That's good. Well, I always ask everyone, and then if they say no, I say wait till the end of the podcast, but just kidding.
A lady never tells. No, I never have been fired. So
yeah, the first few episodes of the podcast, everyone had a story of being fired, and then since then, a lot of people haven't been fired, which is a good thing.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Yeah, and so far, no one's been fired from KGW since being on the podcast. I don't.
That's
think.
good.
Knock on wood. On the door
right.
over here.
Knock on wood.
So when you report in the mornings, a lot of times it's dark out. Depending on the time of year, it gets light out at 5 or 6 or 7. Is that weird? Being like outside at a fire or on the side of the freeway after a crash or something, and it's dark.
So one of the hardest parts of our job, I would say, isn't the stress or getting the video or interviews. It's okay. So a tree fell over, and it's we need you to find this tree, and we think this is the address. We're not sure, and it's pitch black, and then you're driving through this neighborhood in the pitch black, and you're trying not to wake anybody up, and you're looking desperately for this tree that's fallen in the dark, and you'll see me out there with my little iPhone flashlight looking, and I think that would almost be one of the most challenging parts of our job in the morning.
We should come film that. Like I want
we should
video
do like
of you.
a little show on trying to find our scene.
Yeah, it could be called News in the Dark.
Yeah.
With Rachael Rafanelli.
Yeah, we should put it so it's a green camera, like the night vision, and it's like, it can almost be like a horror.
We should have a night vision camera. Now we've got like GoPros, 360 cameras. We got to get night vision. That's the next on the
I think we should. It would help us. It would help us find those trees.
Yeah. Are you a coffee person since you have to be up so early?
Yes, so I am a coffee person. So I'm obsessed with Starbucks. I have to say sorry, although my photographer Eric has shown me a lot of the amazing Portland coffee, like Kova and all that good stuff. But I do love coffee. However, the hard thing is when you work a shift like mine is you get in, it's 3:30 in the morning, you want to have coffee, right? But then you're in a live van and you're stuck out in this van all day. So you don't want to be drinking a lot of coffee that early, and then there's no bathrooms. It's just not a good thing. So usually you just ride through the adrenaline of the newscast, and then afterwards you take a break and go get coffee.
And also there's no Starbucks or coffee shop that's open that early.
Yes, that is another hard thing to find. It's 3:30 in the morning, nothing is open. So you have to wait until Starbucks opens at like 5 or something. But then you can't even leave your scene until
then you're
7.
working very hard for those hours. Because I filled in on the morning shift for about a month straight before this week, and I would usually make coffee or tea at home, and there was one morning where I didn't have any, or for whatever reason, like I wanted to go to get coffee somewhere like Starbucks, and no place was open. I'm like looking on my phone, I'm like, isn't there some place?
Peering through the windows, why aren't you open?
Yeah, and they all open at 5, and I'm like, or later. I'm thinking, well, I have to be on the air at 5, so that does not work. I can't just leave and get coffee.
So Starbucks, if you're listening to us, please, although I'm sure there's some 24-hour ones somewhere, we just don't know where you are.
Just like the drive-through. You just have to have one person working there so we can all drive through. Or we just need like an intern that will go out and get coffee when they open.
That would be nice.
And drive to all the live trucks.
Yeah, little coffee delivery.
Yeah. Now, so you guys are busy during the morning show, and then you have the noon show. What are you doing in between?
So in between, usually for our noon show, you'll see me, well, in the morning you'll see me one place. Usually for noon, we're doing a totally different story. So after the sunrise show's over, usually if I can, we'll try to take a little break, get some coffee or breakfast, and then we'll be like, okay, what's our next story? We line up interviews, we go out to the scene, we shoot more video, get more interviews, and then we turning it for a whole new story for noon. So that's what we do in between that time.
So is there any, do you have a lunch break? Do you get a break, or is it just working
I would say
through?
my lunch break is breakfast, and usually that's right after the morning show, unless there's, news doesn't wait for you to take a break. So sometimes there could be something happening and we just have to get to it. And then usually I just bring my food with me and eat it in the live truck, and I feel bad for the photographer. He has to drive. I'm sitting there eating, but got to do what we got to do. So we don't always get a break.
I think tweeting or Instagramming a picture of your breakfast of champions the other day at Barista, I think.
Oh,
like a cookie
it was a cookie and a coffee. I'm a very healthy eater. Cookies.
There's some protein. There's eggs in there.
It's all good.
A little energy.
And when we get up so early, as you know, by the time 7 o'clock rolls around, you're like not ready for breakfast anymore. You're ready for like a steak and mashed potatoes.
Or like spaghetti.
Spaghetti. You're ready for like your dinner by the time you can actually eat anything.
Mm-hmm.
So the struggle is real.
It is very real. It's been funny.
At least I'm always ready for a steak.
Yeah, well, and I kind of adjusted myself to that schedule, being on the morning shift for a month, and then now that I'm back to normal, I've totally forgotten. I'm like, oh wait, I have to bring lunch to work because I'm not home for lunch, and I need to like plan out. Oh gosh, it's like it just messes up your routine.
Okay, really quickly, I'm looking at my comments.
Oh.
My video production teacher, Janine Blackwell, just said, "Hi, I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much." She's my high school video production teacher.
Oh,
it's her fault, partially her fault, that I am sitting here right now.
Your fault.
Just instilled that love of video
That's so
production.
sweet.
Hi,
Thank
Janine.
you for watching.
Thank you, and I'm going to see you at the Clark County Fair later today.
Oh,
hopefully.
Yes. We are, by the way, live streaming this on Facebook. We do that with all of our podcast episodes now, so you can ask questions while we're live and just hang out with us and see what it's really like. Speaking of the Clark County Fair, I did a live shot there last night. You're heading there today. You used to show cattle, is that how you say it?
I did. So I grew up on a farm in Ridgefield. Maybe we can try to show one of these pictures in a sec here. We should maybe try to tab over to the other one. So now I just press this button here.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to show you.
Oh my goodness.
So this is my cow, Sweet Pea. She's amazing. So when I grew up, She kind of grew up with me. I showed her in the Clark County Fair. Obviously, you can see we love each other. So
She's huge.
She's like a dog. She's like a big dog. So she's just amazing. She's just a big sweetie.
Goodness.
She's like a 2,000-pound dog. So
And
anyway,
how old is she?
You know, gosh, she is getting up there. She's in her teens right now. So she's getting older. I don't even know how old cows live, but she's my girl. And I showed her a lot at the Clark County Fair. I showed a lot of cows in my time, which a lot of people look at me and they're like, well, that doesn't seem like something someone like you would do. I don't know. So, but I grew up on a farm and it was amazing. And yeah, I also showed horses for a bit, just 1 year at the fair, because my family has horses. But the cows, you can make money off of them. So we sell them at the fair, you make money, it goes in your college account. So it's great. It's a little business, learn how to do business when you're young.
So you've had a lot of different cows over the years and then sold them,
yes,
but kept
yes.
Sweet Pea?
Kept Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea is not for sale.
You can't have her.
So I can switch back now if we want to.
Sure. So we can see Rachel's lovely face. That cow, by the way, I guess I've never really been very close to a cow. Like you drive past them on, back roads or something, but I've never stood next to one, seeing a person like seeing
I
you
wouldn't
close
recommend
to a cow.
sitting on a cow. Please do not do this at home. This cow is special. She's like a dog, so that's the only reason. And yes, I'm very safe. Don't worry.
Good.
But not recommended.
And she likes you, so she's not gonna, try to throw you off or something.
Me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just not recommended. Please don't do this at home, kids.
So you're saying people sometimes might think you don't look like the person who's, farming or having cattle.
I just get that a lot, yeah.
Well, you seem like you look very, very put together. Have you always been very put together? Like, you seem like you just walk into work, you have your stiletto. What do you have on today?
I just have short ones on today.
Just short ones. But they're, like, the shoes you wear all the time, I could not survive the whole day with them on. And you are just always, like, so put together. And
I try. Well, growing up, I mean, even when I go home, it's like sweatpants. And, you just kind of, it's the casual life. Mm-hmm. But growing up as a kid, I mean, in middle school, I had, if you can imagine, permed hair, glasses, headgear, and I would sit in the corner and read sci-fi books. I was very popular person in middle school. But
she wouldn't bring a picture of this in, by the way. She brought the cow picture, but
I'll
not
bring the cow. I will not show you that picture. But yeah, it's been great, and just being able to grow up with so many animals and just now being able to do this, it's just been amazing.
Yeah.
So, which is why I love animals so much.
And you also have a dog.
I do.
Who's very adorable. And we have a picture
let's see if we can
of your dog.
I will put her up here. So if you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you're going to see Athena, the dog. She is my Doberman. She's about, she'll be 2 years old in December. And she is amazing. So, had her ever since she was like 7 weeks old. So, or 7 or 8 weeks
was
old.
She tiny?
Yeah,
she
was
pretty
super
big now.
small. Yeah, she's more than 60 pounds now. At the time, she was really small. Growing up, my family had a Doberman, and so I've always wanted one. I had one before her as well, and just amazing dogs. Very smart, but also you have to really take him outside and run. You can't. This is not a dog that can be in an apartment or anything like that. So very high energy. So we gotta take her out, play ball, play fetch, and she will not leave you alone until you do.
That's good.
But then it's many photo opportunities, which you also get to see on my social media sites.
Yep, I always see her.
Me and the dog, Athena the dog. So
yeah, she looks so sweet. So we mentioned this at the beginning of the podcast. You are happily married. You are Mrs. Rafanelli.
Yes.
Your wedding proposal, I did not know this until someone tweeted this to us.
I almost forgot about this, by the way, which shows how much I'm not paying attention.
Your proposal was on live television and now has over 1 million views on YouTube. I tried searching for it before I knew that one that someone tweeted was the one of you. And I was searching Rachael Rafanelli, and of course that was not your name because you were not married, so I hadn't connected that. But So what
Yeah.
what was that like?
So I was Rachael Rafanelli at the time, and I met my husband in college at Washington State University. Best school ever. Go Cougs.
Again with the Cougs.
I know. I'm gonna keep rubbing it in. And so I was working at the time in Idaho, as I said, as an anchor there. And my husband and my coworkers got together, and he's like, "All right, let's do this." So they shot a video of him proposing and holding out the ring. And so I'm on the anchor desk. I have no idea this is going to happen. And I thought it was the end of the newscast.
Oh my gosh.
And I thought we're going to air one of those like silly, fun stories that you air at the end of the show. Like, oh, here's some kittens playing in a box or something. And they rolled the video, and I'm sitting there watching this. I'm like, what is this? This isn't the right video. I'm like, in my ear, I'm like, this isn't the right video, you guys. And then I watch it.
Gosh.
And it's him proposing, and then they cut to my face. So if you can find this video, they cut to my face, and I'm just like, totally stunned. And then he was there in the studio. He showed up, he had flowers, and I said yes. And I just kind of posted it on YouTube more to show like family and friends.
Yeah.
And then it took off, and now it has more than 1.2 million views, and it's just been crazy. And I almost
That's
forgot about it
insane.
until someone who tweeted it the other day.
Yeah, thank you.
Because
You looked like so shocked and happy, but also just like, what are you doing?
Like,
this is
yes.
embarrassing. I think you
What
said
are you
at
doing?
one point, this is
So-
embarrassing.
So, because we had been dating for a while, and we had talked about getting married, and we knew we wanted to get married. And he goes to me. He was in Seattle at the time getting his master's degree, and I was working in Idaho. And he said, "I'm going to come visit you." And then he goes, I think I want to propose to you. We talked about this, and I said, okay.
Whoa.
He's like, would you ever be okay if I proposed in a public place? And I'm thinking, okay, like a restaurant,
Yeah.
by a waterfall. I'm like, oh, sure, if you're going to do it, let's do it there. And I had absolutely no idea it was going to be on TV. So.
Oh my goodness. And
Thank
then
you.
like looking, hindsight is 2020. So then thinking about it, were your coworkers acting weird at all? Like they had something to hide?
No one said anything about it. They were so good. It was just amazing. And I even knew he was in the studio, but I thought he was just there to watch a newscast.
Oh, you knew he was
there?
there?
Yeah, I knew he was there, but I thought he was there to like watch, because my family
Right.
would visit, and he would visit and watch the newscast in the studio, which is really fun. So
I think
no
the best
idea.
part was at the end, you're like, can you close the show?
I couldn't even talk at the end, so I had to tell my anchor, can you just say goodbye? I just can't focus right now. And that was that. And now we'll be celebrating our 6-year anniversary in
Oh my
December.
gosh,
So
congratulations.
It's worked out so far. So, yeah, that was fun.
That's so sweet. Oh, and he
Definitely
got there early, shot all that video. That's so cute.
Definitely unexpected.
So we've talked about your Twitter, Instagrams, lots of pictures of Athena. You're one of the few people at KGW, like myself, that does Snapchat.
Yes, I have to, by the way, thank my 20-year-old sister for getting me into Snapchat before. She's like, you got to do this. It's fun. I'm like, I don't know what this is. How does this work? And then I started it, and now I'm kind of addicted to it. So,
Yeah.
and just like you, it's fun. And then we get they actually think that we're cool enough and responsible enough to Snapchat on the
That's the surprising
KGW
part,
account.
responsible enough.
They trust us, so you'll see Cassidy's and my snaps on the KGW account.
Yeah, I like how you get the photographers to be in them. Are any of them, do they
Yes.
push back? They're like, I don't want to be on Snapchat.
They
Rachel."
push back sometimes, and I'm like, shh, it's okay. It's only 8 seconds. It's fine.
Right.
So I like to do little behind-the-scenes ones sometimes, and we're joking though, because Cassidy always gets to do the fun, like you're out, like it's beer fest, we're talking, so like Cassidy's snaps will be like, this is so fun, and then mine are the next morning, it's like breaking news, something awful, so it'll go from like fun to like really serious, so you can definitely tell who's
Yeah, it'll
snapping
go back and forth.
most
It's like,
of the time.
oh, whoops.
Oh, sad. And then back to happy again.
It's like
So.
3-alarm fire, puppies,
Puppies, beer,
car crash, beer.
car
And
crash.
you're like, okay.
A little mixture of everything. If you're not on Snapchat, you should follow the
Right.
KGW Snapchat. It's awesome.
Yeah, and they have us do it because, we're out in the field, so there are
Yeah.
different things to show instead of just our digital team doing it, who does a great job with all social medias, but they can't really Snapchat things just sitting in here.
They
They're
only
very
have
busy.
like a 5-foot radius where they
Right.
can go. They're only allowed to go like 5 feet.
Except now you can upload pictures into Snapchat.
Which
so
is very
is
cool,
key.
by the way.
Yes.
Thank you, Snapchat, for doing that.
So sometimes you don't go out in the field, you actually get to fill in anchoring.
I do.
Do you like doing that?
Fun. I do like that because I feel anchoring, you can show a little bit more of your personality versus just reporting a lot of times, especially in the morning, you're at something that's very serious, and yeah, of course you want to be serious, but anchoring, it's kind of fun. You can have that banter. You can show more of how much of a goofy person you are, which I am a little bit. So I like the difference. It's fun.
Yeah. If you could choose like what you wish you could do, would you anchor? Would you report? Would you have some show about sci-fi movies?
I'd have some show about sci-fi movies and Dobermans. That's exactly what I would do.
Oh.
No, I think I love what I do now because reporting, it's so great. I get to go out in the community and meet so many of you, and it's just like a new thing every day, like you get to go out and talk to people and everything is different. And then anchoring is also fun because you get to tell more stories, and just obviously it's warm, and you're not in the rain and the cold, which I don't mind being in the rain and the cold. It's just a different setting. So
yeah, working on the morning show the last few weeks, I have heard some of your like mic checks, or like before you're live, they'll be we can hear your audio when you're getting ready.
It's probably me.
And you'd be like, "Brr, I'm cold." I'm like, "Put on a jacket."
I know, but then I wear these cute outfits, and a jacket covers that.
You always look very cute.
I'm a slave to fashion.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
Do you just take off the jacket like
just
right before you go
okay,
live?
I'm going to be on right before. It's my little secret, and then I put it back on again.
Yep. You can deal with cold for a few minutes.
Just a
if
few
it's
minutes,
not like really cold.
In the winter though, you'll see me. I'll be like just like a beach ball, just totally encased in clothes, and I won't be able to move. And
your puffy
I'm
jackets.
so cold. So.
Yeah. You got to be safe out there. You don't want to come back with like
gotta be safe.
pneumonia because you were just. Well, I wanted to look cute in my outfits.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, now we're going to take a couple questions from social medias.
All right.
Michael Brown says, what is the best part of your day?
I think the best part of my day, other than getting to just meet everybody and tell neat stories, is just when we go on air and we have the story all done and it gets on air and it's finally out there, and all our hard work that we've done all morning or all after, I'd say afternoon. I guess it's my afternoon, but it's mid-morning. It finally gets put on the air and we get to see the finished product. I think to me that's like the best part of my day.
Do you have any favorite stories that you've gotten to do at KGW so far?
At KGW,
or just in your whole career?
And it's just every day is different. I love stories where we can. Someone asking a funny question.
Yeah, sorry.
Uh-oh.
Reading the next question.
Oh,
but
great.
No,
oh,
sorry.
Great.
Answer your question.
So, stories that make an impact or have an impact or that can help people, I think, are really special. So I like those kind of stories.
Yeah. Always looking for those if you have tips. Okay, the question I was laughing at. If you can guess which KGW coworker of yours asked this question, you win 5 extra points. Rachel, what university would you recommend for anyone interested in a degree in communications, and how many Wazoo grads have you had the pleasure of working with?
Wow, I would have to say, is that a man named Mike Gallimanis or
ding, ding,
Bruce?
Ding, ding, ding. Excellent guess. Bruce would have been a good guess as well, but Gallimanis, a.k.a. Tom Tuttle, one of the Wazoo people. When he came on the podcast, he tried to bring in a sweatshirt and a hat of Cougars gear for me to wear. It's like, no.
You're like, I'm not going to wear that.
Like, I don't pick sides. I didn't go to any of these schools.
You should pick sides, Cassidy.
I'm from closer to UW.
That's why you're wearing, is that purple I see?
It is
what
purple,
is that?
but that's not, it wasn't, that is, yeah, that's true.
I don't know if I
the
can sit next to
Huskies Cougars rivalry going on over here.
But honestly, if you are looking into wanting a degree in journalism, Wazoo is the best place to go. The Edward R. Murrow College is fantastic.
Did you always know that's where you were going to go? Or, because some people, with colleges like Wazoo and UW, you always hear like that's where their parents went and that's where their grandparents went and that's where they're going to go. But then for me, it was like, I'm going to go wherever. I don't know.
My dad is a Coug and a Beav, actually, so I'll have to love both schools. Growing up, at first, I also was interested in film, actually. I loved being behind the camera. Oh. And so I actually visited UCLA and USC to look into a film school.
I almost went to USC, too.
But I realized how expensive the school was, first off, and then it's just so hard to be in the film industry and have a steady job, right? So I thought, well, let's go to broadcast news.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I started out on the acting track, and then same
Okay.
thing. It was like, maybe I want a job.
Maybe you want a steady job where I don't have to worry about, if I'm going to have it the next day or not.
Yeah.
So.
Is your phone doing a better job of showing the comments? Because mine's showing like 5, and then no other one show.
Mine is.
Oh, okay. Can I borrow your phone?
Here.
Let's hack Rachel's Facebook. Just kidding. Okay.
So.
Dathan says, what are some of the bigger changes you've seen at Portland experience in the last few years?
Bigger changes?
Like just since you're always out in the city,
yeah.
things are changing.
I would have to say, and this comes from living in Vancouver too, is there's a lot more traffic now than there used to be. And maybe I'm just someone from Vancouver complaining about the traffic in Portland, but I swear it's like every day, starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the cars line up over the I-5 bridge and on back. So.
Yeah.
But don't get me started on that.
Well, yeah, is that a problem living in Vancouver? I guess for you,
so
you
for
drive
me,
not
which is
during...
why I love the morning show, is that I don't have to worry about traffic at 3 in the morning. So that's why I really like the shift, because of where I live.
That is nice.
So although if I don't get out of here by like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's over. You're sitting in traffic for an hour.
It's crazy how early the traffic starts, and then lately it's been lasting later too.
Yes.
Like we were driving back from our live shot last night at 7:30 from the Clark County Fair, and looking at traffic the other direction was horrible. At 7:30,
you're like,
no,
what? Come on.
Shouldn't be happening.
So that's probably the biggest change, I would say.
Yeah.
In the last couple of years.
So much traffic. Yeah, Gallimanis did tell me yesterday that it's my fault that the traffic started when I got here, and it's never going to get better.
No.
Ben Silbernagel wants to know, did you always want to be a newscaster, or what did you want to be when you grew up? So you talked about film school, but when you were a kid, is that what you said you wanted to do?
That's what I always thought I wanted to do, actually, was to do either film or be in broadcast. Growing up, as I had mentioned, my parents have a farm, and so my dad had this big VHS video camera, and so I'd stick it on my shoulder, and I'd ride a horse, and my sister would ride a horse next to me, and we'd shoot these Western videos, and so I was obsessed with, making videos, even from a young age, and I subjected my 3 younger siblings into dressing up in costumes, and we had all the animals, and we made Westerns.
Yes!
So,
do you still have any of these videos?
I do, yes. And sometimes we'll take them out and just laugh at them. They're hilarious.
Oh my goodness. Those are the best. That sounds so wonderful. Those could have as many views as your wedding proposal.
Maybe I should post some of those. That my siblings would kill me if I did that. So.
I think it would be worth it. Worth the risk.
Worth it. Let's test it out.
Steve Fitzgerald wants to know Starbucks or Dutch Bros?
Ooh, I would have to say Starbucks. I do love my Starbs. Although Dutch Bros, I like that drink. It's called the Kicker, I think. It has a ton of caffeine. It's really sweet. And you have 2 sips and you're like, I'm good to go.
I think that would kill me. That's a Dutch Bros?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have to get it. It's called the Kicker because it just gives you a kick to get you going.
Oh, goodness. What time do they open?
I think probably 5 too. I don't know.
Always.
Unless maybe there's a couple 24-hour ones, but I don't know where they are.
Maybe. Okay, this question I believe comes all the way from Rio, where the Olympics are happening right now. Devin Haskins, our photographer, photojournalist who's there with Steph Strickland, says, what is your favorite sport in the Olympics? What time is it there? I guess it's only 4 in the afternoon.
I guess so. So it's not too bad. Yeah. First off, I just love the gymnastics because it's amazing, and I sit there and I watch these men and women do amazing things. Or kids, they're so young. Yeah. And you're like, wow, I can't even do the splits. That's amazing. Although I do have to say I enjoyed swimming, but that was for personal. Swimming and who doesn't enjoy the swimming?
They're nice to look at.
Exactly.
Everyone, girls,
just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah.
They have amazing physiques.
I was watching that while working out this morning. I was like, I need to run faster.
Faster.
My abs will never look like that.
They'll never be the same.
Yeah. Oh, yes. We had another question from Twitter. Patrick McGee, he was the one that tweeted the proposal. How did you feel about the on-air proposal?
I think at the time I was a little, as you can tell in the video, a little shocked, but I was so happy. I was overwhelmed and just so happy. But then stunned at the same time because I'm the kind of person that I plan everything, so I don't really like surprises.
Ooh.
So don't surprise me because I won't like it.
Well, we brought in 25 puppies.
Oh my gosh, I do like that surprise.
That would be great, except they would break everything.
Yeah, it was amazing. I was just so overwhelmed. I think overwhelmed is the right word.
So did your parents know what was happening?
They
Were
did.
they watching
I think
live?
that they did. No, they weren't watching. I don't know if we could do it live, I think, at that time. But yeah, I think that they knew it was coming. They were just kind of waiting for it. So.
Yeah. Oh my God. You're like, hey, Mom, did you watch the 10 o'clock news
so
tonight?
by the way,
yeah.
I was on the news, but it was for just different. I was usually being a news reporter, you don't want to be the news. It's usually not a good thing, but that was a good thing.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's what recently I've been wanting to go out on hikes around Portland, and people are like, just don't become the headline of like the person falling.
Yeah.
Like, I'll try not to.
Hiking is so fun. We live in such a beautiful area.
Yeah. Do you have favorite hikes? Because you did grow up here, so I'm sure you've done a lot of the...
I did some hikes. I've been doing more recently, but honestly, I just love climbing up high in the gorge, like Angel's Rest, for example.
I just did that one.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You can just sit up there and eat lunch and just like you have the best view.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's free. It's all free.
What about, speaking of food, do you have favorite Portland or Vancouver restaurant recommendations?
So I have a confession to make. I
don't eat.
I don't eat. I'm not really a foodie. So to me, I love me some Olive Garden breadsticks. And
I can't argue with you on that one.
I guess I would have to say I was never really into like, I know we have so many great restaurants, especially in Portland, but
what about donuts?
Yeah, I love.
Do you like donuts?
I do love donuts, but I have to say, Cocoa Donuts is pretty amazing. So I give them a shout out. Although the Safeway maple bars are pretty amazing too. Not gonna lie.
Maple bars are great.
Maple
I think
bars.
Cocoa Donuts does a.
They do. I had a
maple
butter. A maple. Is it a butter cream or what is that? I don't even know what it's called.
Is it like an old fashioned something?
Yeah, I don't know. It was amazing, and I ate it yesterday, and I ate it in like 2 seconds. So
now it's like lunchtime or dinner time for you, probably. Oh my gosh.
So you don't feel too bad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 7 in the morning. I'm eating a donut. It's okay. It's really like the afternoon.
That happens on the morning show. It's someone's birthday or someone's first day, and someone will bring in a box of donuts, and you're like, I'm just gonna eat a bite of it at 5:30, and then wait for the next bite.
Yeah. Try to pace out your donuts.
Yeah. Oh, now I just want a donut. Fred Jefferson wants to know Anchorman or All the President's Men movie choices.
Anchorman. I mean, come on. Will Ferrell. He's hilarious.
Have you ever had a Ron Burgundy teleprompter moment?
Thankfully, I have seen the teleprompter when it says something it's not supposed to say, but thankfully I catch it before I read it. So, usually avoid.
I did forget to ask that earlier. Do you have any embarrassing on-air moments besides getting proposed to?
Besides that? I'm sure there's a lot. There was a moment where I was reading a story. This is back when I was in Idaho. This is probably on YouTube somewhere. I was reading a story about a woman being this is a terrible story, but it happened on the East Coast somewhere, so thankfully it wasn't local. It was a woman being attacked by a cat. It scratched her, and our producers chose this like funniest looking face of this cat. They just must have Googled like scary cat or something, and it appeared in a picture next to me, and I looked at it and I could not stop laughing. So that was a bad moment. You're trying to like be serious because this poor lady, but then you're looking at this cat, which is right next to your face in this picture on the TV screen, and it's like, and it just didn't work. So.
It happens.
And afterwards, you're just like, oh, that sucked.
The giggling is like what happens to most people, because like on the morning show lately with Brenda and Ashley,
they giggle.
Their giggling
a lot.
attacks
They're
out of
funny.
control.
You just can't help it. I mean, let it out.
But I think it's entertaining. But yeah, it depends on the story.
Depends on the story.
If you're talking about something really serious, you do not want to have a giggling attack. Marconi has a random question. Do you think that Cassidy, should wear protective eyewear at all times? Because the other day I got hit with
so what happened with that?
Well, we were playing badminton because I was trying out some Olympic sports, and the birdie just hit me in the eye, and the guy that was teaching me was like, that's why you're supposed to protect your face with your racket, but I just didn't do it.
Isn't this like the second time you've had like an eye injury?
Yeah, like a month ago, my nephew punched me in the eye and scratched my cornea. Luckily, the birdie did not do any permanent damage so far that I've noticed. But so everyone on social media has just been like, you need to wear snowboard goggles or swim goggles all the time.
Just wrap your head in bubble wrap and just leave like a little hole for your mouth.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll look great on air. I'll be out of a job in no time. Yeah, you have to wear, when you do stories like on the side of the freeway, do you have to wear something special?
We wear those orange vests and we set out cones and we just hope that you guys are paying attention when you drive past, although we're always very careful, especially when we're near a freeway, because
it's so
people
dark
don't pay
out.
attention. It's dark, people are tired in the morning, they're not paying attention, so you make yourself as bright as possible.
Yeah. Well, the final 3 questions on the podcast are would you rather questions that I have come up with.
Uh-oh.
The first one is, would you rather never be able to be on TV again, or be able to be on TV but with a big zit in the middle of your forehead every single day?
Forever?
Forever.
Oh, man.
Great options,
Oh,
both
that's
of
terrible. Those are terrible options. I guess I would choose the zit, and I would just wear like a hat every day. Can I wear a hat or a bandana every day?
Oh,
unless it's like right in the middle of my head.
I mean, it could be wherever.
I mean, it
guess.
could be my trademark. It could be what I'm, my signature look. I mean, try to think positive here.
Yeah. Okay.
There. So,
Next.
Sure.
We're choosing the zit. Next one. Would you rather go on air and forget everything you were going to say, or go on air and burp loudly in the middle of your story?
Oh my gosh. I would have to say just forget everything I was going to say.
Yeah.
I don't think I could burp on air.
You don't want that on your blooper
I don't think
reel?
I want that. No. Unless I could blame it on my photographer or something.
Oh.
But I'd have to say probably just forget and just point.
Yeah.
Just see me pointing. I think that's what I would choose. Those are terrible.
Go to the video.
Yeah, the video.
Just like run away.
Yeah.
Duck.
That would definitely make it on YouTube.
It's when you know you haven't had your coffee yet.
Yeah.
I just realized I had not taken questions from one person that sent them in on Twitter. Steele, Blue Snowy Mountains.
Thank you for all your questions.
Thank you for your questions. I didn't forget about them, just almost. First one, what was your Emmy nomination in 2010 for?
Ooh, yeah. So when I graduated, I produced a video when I was at Washington State, and it was about firefighters and all the work that goes into being a firefighter and what it takes, because you guys are amazing and just so inspirational. And so I did a whole little documentary on firefighters and these men and women and just kind of profiling them. And yeah, I got nominated for an Emmy. So
wow, congratulations.
Thank you. Just out of college too. So that was really special, and just felt special to be honoring these people that work so hard.
Yeah.
And really have, I couldn't ever do what they do.
Yeah, that's so cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then one more, have you taken part as a guest judge in the area since you got back to Oregon? I guess for the fairs, animals?
No, I never have, but I would love to. I think that'd be so fun. So sign me up,
Yes.
Judging whatever. If it's food, although, I'm not big into food, so maybe not food, because I think everything tastes good. Mm-hmm. So maybe chocolate, animals.
Yeah.
No, not yet. Sign me up.
Okay, final would you rather question.
Okay.
Everyone go sign Rachel up to be a judge for the cows and the pigs and everything. Would you rather be stuck in your live truck with no food for 24 hours or no bathroom for 24 hours?
No food or no bathroom?
Yes. I don't know what I would choose.
Oh, that's terrible. I would have to say no food, because if I didn't have a bathroom, it would be bad. Mm-hmm. So I'll be like a 24-hour fast.
Yeah, it's a juice cleanse.
Do I get water or no water? Nothing?
I mean, you got water.
Yeah. Okay.
You got water. We have to let you survive.
Because then I could just use the bathroom, then it'd be fine.
That's true. You got water and a bathroom.
I'm thinking this through.
Otherwise, you've got food and no bathroom.
Bathroom. Oh.
Yeah. It's the new trendy cleanse, the news cleanse.
Exactly.
Well, that is the final question on the podcast. Do you have any final words for everybody listening and watching?
Thank you so much for watching. It's just amazing to be able to be here and just to tell your stories every day, every morning. I hope you keep watching and just know that, we're real people out here too. I think people think that we're little news robots sometimes, and we're real people with feelings, and we just care so much about this community and where we live, and we just try our best every day to tell great stories. So
real people with cows and
dogs.
With cows
and dogs headgear and all sorts of good stuff.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching every morning and all the time, and it's great to be here with you. And thank you for having me on your podcast. This has been so fun.
Thank you for doing it with us, learning all kinds of wonderful things about you. On the Facebook live stream, I'll go find the link to Rachel's proposal on YouTube and put it there if you are watching on there. So go watch that, and we'll be back on next Friday with another episode of Station Break. You can tweet me at Cassidy Quinn with the hashtag StationBreakKGW if you have a question for someone on the podcast or a suggestion of who should be on the podcast next. And you can listen to the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes, watch it on YouTube, on KGW News Channel, or on KGW.com. And we will see you next week. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Bye.